Welcome back to the hard way. If you followed us for the last segment with our all-star teams, or our starting 12-man rosters, you know, it got a little bit heated when we started talking about the Phoenix Suns. And we back again to talk about the Phoenix Suns. Is our first quote of the day. LeBron tweeted right after the all-star reserves came out that Devin Booker is the most disrespected player in our league. And there was more where he said, followed by Dame Dollar. But you guys agree with LeBron? Is Rob, do you agree with LeBron? Because I'm not trying to hear from John right now. Do you agree with LeBron that Devin Booker is the most disrespected player in the NBA?
I would disagree with LeBron in this instance. Been watching a lot of basketball lately, man. And somebody who literally gets zero credit and is one of the most talented players in this league is De'Aaron Fox, dog. Bro is a monster, son. He's really a monster. You do it all, dunk on your head, you pull up from deep, you slash pass you, get his teammates involved, he plays defense, the rebound. Like Devin Booker is nice. I ain't going front. D Booker is a dog. But when it comes to the most disrespected, we won't even talk about De'Aaron Fox, dog. So I would have to respectfully agree with the king on this.
I can go now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, I'm sorry, I gotta disagree. We talking about a guy who scored 70 points when he was under the age of 25. So one of the purest scorers of all time. Like, and on top of that, this year he made his team is a fourth in the NBA right now, and I'm fourth in the Western Conference right now. And he didn't get the nod. The only reason why he got the nod to be an All-Star is because Anthony Davis was out. Are you kidding me? Total disrespect. Total disrespect. Over his career, he's averaged 22 points a game, bro. He's one of the best shooting guards that we don't talk about. And the reason why we don't talk about him is because he wasn't winning. But guess what? Last year I came on the show, we said AD was a top 5 talent. Was AD winning? No. So why does AD get the respect that he gets and he deserves when he's a top 5 talent and killing and doing everything that he wants to do? And we recognize his talent, but we can't do the same thing for Devin Booker. That has to be explained to me. I'm sorry. Somebody got to explain that to me.
Tell him something, Joe!
Rob, yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask a question. Did you just say Devin Booker is a top 5 talent in the NBA?
Top 5 scorer. Top 5 pure scorer. A top 5 talent.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
There's a lot of top 5 pure scorers in the NBA.
Ain't none of them score 70. Ain't none of them score 70 under the age of 25.
I guess I'll jump in. The issue that I have here with Devin Booker and the respect factor is sometimes you're good or you're great just isn't good enough right now. And that's how I feel about Devin Booker. We look at Zach, and I know he's been doing it longer than Zach LaVine when I make a Zach LaVine comparison, but Zach LaVine is a pure scorer, and we didn't know it, and he came back from the ACL injury, but he's been doing, to me, him and Devin Booker have been toe-to-toe with the way that they score and somewhat the efficiency, even though Zach LaVine is extremely efficient this year more than anything. They just started winning, John. They just started winning, and when you look at the names that are over him at those positions, you're talking about guards, right? You have Steph, who's carrying his team. Mm-hmm. You have Dame, who's carrying his team. You have Luka, who's carrying his team. You have Donovan Mitchell.
Please don't start. You want to talk about carrying the team? Luka's 15 and 15. This is the thing that kind of kills me, right?
What?
So we 15 and 15.
I understand.
The Dallas Mavericks are not having a great season. They had the similar roster that they had last year. They were in my opinion, the Dallas Mavericks are underachieving. While the
playoffs last year?
Who?
The Mavs made the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. They're underachieving right now because Dallas is not in the playoffs. They're currently sitting outside of the playoffs. And if they didn't go on this 3-game winning streak, then they wouldn't be where they're
But
at.
they are in this 3-game winning streak. And how are they on it?
You're right.
How are they on it?
You're right.
Luka hitting.
But
fadeaway
how is the Suns right now in the 4th seed? It has to do with the play of Devin Booker, bro. You have to give him respect. But we're going to credit the guy from declining, not the guy from inclining. Come on, son. We gotta talk about this.
Luka's not declining. The team may not be performing at the same pace that they were performing last year, but Luka is not declining. Luka is far from declining. And to me, I'm going with the closer. Give me Chris Paul over Devin Booker. Chris Paul, to me, is the reason why that team's turned around. I looked at it with OKC last year. I see it with Chris Paul. I see it with Phoenix this year. At the end of the day, no matter how great they were in the bubble, they won 7 games straight to still be multiple games under 500. Devin Booker was a part of that. They were still multiple games under 500. He was there for when they were losing as well. When they started off really strong in the beginning of this, I think it was 5-0. So they were spurting.
And then what happened?
And then
his star got caught with a PED use and couldn't play basketball no more.
And Devin
So
Booker did not carry his team. He scored points.
He carried his team into the. He was 1 game away from making the playoffs. Regardless of what you want to say about that or not, the facts is the facts.
But
he was 1 game away.
If that's the facts, then at 15-15, 500 record, they're way better than what the Suns were last year. Because the Suns went on a 7-game winning streak to be under 500. So I'm not going to say that Luka has declined at all. He hasn't. And to me, Devin Booker's on the outside looking in because these other guys are 23-6.
But the difference is
The fact is that the Mavs are 1 game out from being in the playoffs right now at 15-15.
That's the facts.
Oh, okay.
That's a fact.
So don't discredit somebody who made the playoffs.
I'm not discrediting. I'm just saying, what are we basing these all-star? I'm trying to say, what are we basing these all-star selections on?
When he do that? When he put up 25 point, 12 rebound, 13 assists, triple doubles. When he do that?
He did, but he had 26 and 7 last year.
26 and 7 is better than 27, 12, and 13 games?
It's not. I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that this year, the Booker's team, the Suns, and we talk about closures. Yes, Chris Paul's the ultimate closer. But we're acting like Devin Booker doesn't have the ability to close out games. He had a game winner this year. He had a game winner against the Clippers last year. Like, why are we acting like Devin Booker?
Luka.
I'm not saying.
Luka.
So, I'm not talking about Luka. I'm talking about Chris Paul, and I'm talking about Devin Booker, and we're talking about who is the man on that team. And I believe that Devin Booker is this bona fide superstar on that team.
And what I'm saying is the same thing that you're saying about Devin Booker being so good, Luka's already done. He hit a game winner against the Celtics recently.
Took his team
he hit a game winner in the bubble.
Right, and y'all gave him his flowers while he was doing that. And what I'm saying is this year, Devin Booker is doing this. Devin Booker is doing what Luka did for his team last year, this year, and we're not giving him the credit that he deserves. That's what I'm saying.
Over who? Who would you give it to him over Luka?
Over Chris Paul. Chris Paul shouldn't be in the playoffs, shouldn't be in the All-Star game. Before Devin Booker. No way.
What the problem is?
I agree with that take, John. But at the end of the day, Chris Paul is a veteran. You know he's going to get that nod all day, every day. Especially when he went from the Thunder last year, brought them to the playoffs, come to the Suns this year, put them in the 4th seed.
Like I said, I am not discrediting Chris Paul and his ability to take teams that are subpar and make them the best of their ability. What I'm saying is we have to give this man Devin Booker his respect and the credit that he deserves, and I don't think that we're doing
What respect is he missing?
Rob, what do you want me to I told you.
Play
All-Star. It should have been a...
He's an All-Star.
He's an All-Star because of the fact that Anthony Davis got hurt.
Right, and to me, John, he's always going to be on the outside looking in. That's just what, until he steps up in that way, over, not just we got to give him some respect. But we have to be able to say, yo, this dude might be better than Donovan Mitchell. This dude might be better than Luka Doncic. This dude might be better than Damian Lillard. This dude might be better than Paul George. And right now, I'm not in any condition to say that about him. I think he's great. I think he's the cutoff. It was Bradley Beal for a long time. Remember in the East, it was Bradley Beal for a very long time. He was the cutoff. It's not gonna get any easier for him. Prayers up. I believe that Klay Thompson will come back and still be an All-Star player. So you throw another guard in the mix. it's gonna be tough. I think Jamal Murray is on his tail. We just talked about De'Aaron Fox, who may be on his tail.
De'Aaron Fox leaves Sacramento, it's gonna be a whole different story.
So
if De'Aaron Fox was in New York, oh my lord, John.
let's move on to our next basketball quote. Our second basketball quote. PG was hurt, and which game was this, John?
It's the Brooklyn Nets.
Against the Brooklyn Nets, the game that ended with the infamous offensive foul.
Yeah.
PG was hurt, and he said he was ready to go back into the game, but the coaching staff held him back. Right. My fault. Okay, sorry. He had a minutes restriction, which is still pretty high, but he's ready to go, and coaches held him out.
How hard was it to not be able to play those final minutes due to the minutes restriction?
Man, I think you know the answer to
that. You had said the other night that you probably couldn't have played 30, but you had 33 tonight. Were you feeling okay though?
I was ready. I was ready to go. I wanted to keep going.
John, you had some feelings toward this.
I mean, the way that the situation, I understand the minutes restriction because we all know that Paul George has suffered multiple injuries throughout his career that severely put him back, and he's worked a tremendous way to get to the point where he's not at now. And to some people, wouldn't recover. So I get that. What I can't respect, this is what I can't respect. If you are in a tight ball game and you have a minute left in the game and you sit out your star player who has a chance to win the game, impact. I understand the minute restrictions, bro, but we're talking about the credibility of the league. When you sit to watch a game, you pay to watch the stars play. You pay to watch that fourth quarter. You sitting at the edge of your seat. For you to pull out a star player who was killing that game. Paul George, he was making a great impact that game. You pull him with 1 minute left in the ball game or 2 minutes left down the stretch in the ball game because of a minutes restriction. What does that say to the fans, bro? That's ruining the game of basketball. I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. I understand from the owner's perspective, but from a fan's perspective, that's not what I came to turn my TV on for. For all of that, I might as well just play 2K.
Understandable. I can't believe I'm gonna argue this side for this because usually it would be you arguing this side to me. But so this is business, and he may play this 1 minute, but if he gets hurt in this 1 minute, y'all won't have Paul George for the next 12 to 14 games. Plus, he'll have an excuse for the playoffs, and we need him ready for the playoffs. Lastly, this is why we got a whole bunch of stars in the first place. We a big market. We still got Kawhi. We still in the game. We still got somebody that can do what we need him to do to be that superstar, to keep the fans engaged. I don't think any fans turned the TV off because Paul George wasn't playing when Kawhi Leonard is the superstar of that team. If you understand my drift.
Bro.
I'm saying we built this super team for you. And because we got a super team, we can do what Brooklyn is doing right now and win games without our best player. They had the opportunity to do so. I understand where you're coming from 100% with it just being a minute left, but that minute turns into overtime, and how do you sit him then? If Paul George takes that game into overtime, oh, now he can't play. We watched it happen with Zion last year, and it was weird because he was coming into the league like that, where he was impacting the game, having high plus minuses, and when it mattered most, New Orleans would take him out of the game. They lost some of those games, and New Orleans was a game and a half or one game out of the playoff bubble, the playing game last year. So it can be crucial. I understand where you're coming from, even as a business, it can be crucial. But if we set this goal, then we have to stick by it.
I understand it.
Yeah.
My whole question behind this is what precedent is this setting? That we're going to see more games with star players on minutes restrictions. Like this is, I think, load management. The invention of load management and actually the unrolling of load management has definitely affected the ratings of the NBA. For sure. And this is another example of why people don't like. I love the NBA and I love to watch these games. This is a marquee matchup. This is the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie and James Harden. And it's supposed to be Kyrie and James Harden duking it down the stretch with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And we didn't get to see that happen, bro. That's so disappointing. It's so disappointing. And
you know why it's disappointing to you too? Because those are your 2 championship hopefuls, and you know they won't be there when it's all said and done. So you won't get to see it again. Do they play again this year?
Listen, they definitely play again this year. And
you won't get to see it 6 times, 4 or 5 times.
I won't be surprised if I see the Clippers in the finals, especially with AD being hurt. So that's just my take.
Here's a happy medium for you, John. Why not blame Ty Lue for just holding him off for a little extra minute so he can play that last minute of the game? Why not, hypothetically, just for the story, instead of bringing him in with 8 minutes to go in a game, bring him in with 6 minutes to go in the game. So you can have him finish the game. So for me, this is all on Ty Lue, man. And I understand he felt like he was doing the right thing. But if you know you have a minutes restriction, and you know this game is going to be close, and you know your guy's got to be out there at the end, and you know your guy wants to be out there at the end, just like he said he was ready to go, give him the most important minutes so he can actually play and make an impact on the last end of the game so you don't be forced into pulling him out with a minute left. So Ty Lue, I encourage you to do a little bit of a better job of just managing the minutes and making sure that your stars can finish out games.
There's got to be something done with this lower management stuff.
Listen, man, at the end of the day, I'm going to say, like I said, man, it's business. And you play this game to win championships. And you don't win championships in January or February, man. So if it takes Paul George out of the minutes restriction so he can finish out some playoff games, by all means, Paul George, you sit your tail on the bench.
Please, man, can you go down, have a Coke and a smile?
That's how the Spurs win.
Last basketball quote. Absolutely right, Rob. The last basketball quote, Stephen A. Smith, we love bringing up Stephen A. on this show, one of our pioneers. He says that Brooklyn should win the championship as far as he's concerned. I'm looking at you.
Oh, you look at me?
Yeah, you got Brooklyn.
Okay, let's do it.
East, and you
Listen,
say
man.
they don't have to win a chip because it's their first time together and they're trying to figure it out. And KD's been hurt.
So they say. A lot of people say it though.
So, you know.
We in New York, baby. I'm all in. All in. Listen, the Nets just came off of a West Coast trip. They just came off of a West Coast trip and smoked the entire division. All of them. Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Warriors, 4 playoff teams. 3 of those playoff teams, top 3 playoff teams in the West, beat them handily. Guess who they didn't have? Kevin Durant. So, am I expecting the Nets to win a championship? Especially now with Anthony Davis' health in jeopardy and that Lakers team struggling, losing 3 games straight? Bet your ass I am.
I don't know where to begin with you New Yorkers, man. I love being from New York. I love being here because you guys will flip-flop on the drop of a dime. Just a few months ago, not even a few months ago, just a few weeks ago, you weren't sold on them being a championship team this year simply because they needed time to gel. You win a couple of games without gelling, I mind you, because Kevin Durant's still not there. So the gel hasn't been put together yet. The guy who's going to dominate the scoring is still not there. So, yes, it looks great.
Do you think that when I said gelling, I'm worried about Kevin Durant gelling with them?
No.
I was worried about Kyrie and James Harden. And guess what? And guess how they doing right now? They out here cooking with grease.
You should pump the praise. I don't expect to win a championship. It's not fair to say they can be expected to win a championship.
They won 5 games and now chip.
I ain't heard none of that, John. No.
I'm going to tell you this, Rob. I'm going to tell you this. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. And not because I am, vindictive against the Nets or anything like that. But this is what it should have been. I'm upset that it took people like you, people like Stephen A., people like that talking heads in this industry that we're part of, this long to actually step up and say this. Of course they were going to do good at some point. They're the only true super team in the league right now. They were supposed to be this. When you put this together with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, this is what I expected. So when you added James Harden, it became a no-brainer. We both said that. Myself and Rob both said that. We were arguing you down with this point earlier in the show, in the season. Now they're showing you that. Great. There's no backtracking now. Now, 2-game losing streak, 3-game losing streak, somebody goes down, Kevin Durant comes back, whatever the case, you gotta be sold all in because now they're supposed to win a championship. Yeah, AD was hurt, but you guys got them winning championships as if AD is done for the season. He's not. The Clippers are still figuring it out, but they won the game by 2 on a bad offensive foul call. Or would you say that was a good offensive foul call? Regardless of, even if it was a good one, it was a very controversial call at the end of the game of a 2-point game. And like you said, Paul George didn't finish the game. So these games were won. And I'm not taking any W's away from them because they did it without their star. But everybody wasn't fully healthy. And you heard Kyrie say that when he was talking post-game that we want the Lakers at full capacity. We want these teams at full capacity because they're trying to see where they stand up to. But I don't care. They're supposed to go to the championship this year. They're supposed to win a championship this year. And if they don't, it was a failed season to me.
I think that, once again, people need to see it because there's been a lot of super teams that were assembled or some super teams that were assembled that just didn't gel. You have the Lakers. You have a couple of teams that have assembled just like, well, what happened there, right? Even like, not a super team, but a team that was supposed to gel that didn't gel was the Minnesota Timberwolves when they had Wiggins and they had Butler and they had Cat and they had D Rose and they didn't gel. So chemistry means a lot. Style of play means a lot. And James Harden took the sacrifice, and now that sacrifice, the thing that we were all worried about was because his style of play in Houston is not the same as his style of play in Brooklyn. It's 2 different styles of play, 2 different James Harden. That was the key point in what people was looking at. That was the missing piece. And if that continues to happen, if James Harden continues to be, arguably right now, you can say that he can be the best point guard in the league. You can arguably make that statement right now. Brooklyn should win a championship.
I hear you. And my hastiness to you would be just remember that Kevin Durant is the top scorer on that team. James Harden will not have as many opportunities to do what he does best in the half court when Kevin Durant comes back, because at least half of those plays go back to making sure that Kevin Durant gets off, making sure that he's the focal point, because he's if he's the hardest one to guard, and then James Harden and Kyrie are getting secondary defenders, they should be able to toy with them. James Harden is still getting 26 a game right now. That number's going to continue to drop when Kevin Durant comes back. So I don't think that you've met your chemistry expectation, yet your championship expectation has risen, and I'm questionable about that. I think that's the New Yorker in you. They've won 5 in a row. They won 5-6 in a row. I'm all aboard now. Because when they were winning 2 and losing 1, then losing 1 and winning 2, you wasn't as confident as you are now. Same team, only been a month. Can't tell me the chemistry's there already.
I'm more confident because what we needed to see was that snapshot of how great they can be. And just last night, 40 points in the first quarter, no KD. Like,
when you do that, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean?
They're supposed to. They're 2 freaking superstars. You kidding me? They're supposed to.
They're supposed to?
They're 2 people. James Harden dropped 36 a game last year. Kyrie averages 22, 23 for his career.
So the Lakers just drop 42 and a quarter all the time.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. They're supposed to. It's LeBron James, who's number 3 on the roster. Come on, son. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they did that without Kevin Durant. That's the point, Tom. Now imagine what happened with. Let's continue.
Rob, you got anything to add to this conversation?
I would love to add something. Listen, man, this Brooklyn team is looking really scary. I will say, from my analysis of this team, I don't see any chemistry issues with them. I feel like they are all going to and are willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to win a championship. And if I had to make a comparison, away Celtics, bro. Away Celtics. Not defensively.
Oh, I say, who's your Rondo?
Listen, they don't need no Rondo. They
Bruce
when
Brown.
I say OA Celtics, I say 3 superstars coming in saying, listen, we want to win a chip. Whatever it takes to win a chip, that's what we're going to do. And I definitely can see that, and I have those vibes from Brooklyn, and they are very scary right now.
All right. Well, sorry, guys. We didn't make it to the rest of the quotes. Basketball got hot as we knew it would, but we will be back with Down the Stretch.